Hey everyone, it's Monday morning again, and I'm here with another Monday Musings for you. And I wanted to do one more Father's Day video for you since it's next week. And I made a mini photo album, and it took me, it takes a while to do these, so I can't do it on the video. But here's my my new nails I wanted to show you. They're steampunk nails, and what it is watch parts embedded in my acrylics. I got ink all over my hands, but I think this is just too cool. I love steampunk, and I asked my friend who does my nails if she could do it, and we took watches apart and we embedded it in the acrylic, and this is what we got. So I think they're too cool. So anyway, let's talk about the album now. I used an album. I got this on clearance somewhere. It's called Oh Flip, and it's by American Crafts. And I don't know where I got it, and I don't know if they're still being made. But you could use just about anything you want to make a mini book. But what it is that it has an acrylic cover, 2 acrylic covers, and then it has things in it. Let me find them. I have some extras, and I have my stuff stacked here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it came with the 2 acrylic covers, and it came with these. And what they are is that you can take this off of here, this strip, and there's adhesive under there. And the idea for this originally is for you to adhere a photograph right here, and then you put, all these many photos in here, and then you use the bolts to hold it together. So I modified that just a little bit. I didn't use all of them. I still have these left. I don't know what I'll do with those, but anyway, here's how I did it. First of all, I took the acrylic cover, and I used Good Old Sport again, the Graphic 45 Good Old Sport. And I also used just a couple of papers from one that's much older called A Proper Gentleman, and it has a few sports things in here and some men's things, and it's really a nice set of paper. It's discontinued. Don't know what year it was from, but anyway, if you have this on hand, great to use. If not, then use all Old Sport. So I also have the banners and tags, and I have the chipboard, both of the chipboard sets for Good Old Sport. So I used those. I used a couple of times I used some of the Tim Holtz linen ribbon. I used several stamp sets. I used a couple, I think I used the same arrow twice in the Here and There new stamp set. I really like it. I didn't think I'd like this, but I found that I really do. And then I used the mustache stamp from the Mini Blueprints, number 4. I used the word text to stamp him on the front of this acrylic album, and I stamped it with Jet Black Stays On. And then I used several of these stamps. This is a small set that I got at Michael's, and they take some of the sets and make them smaller, and I have some of these stamps in a bigger size. In fact, I have this one. Let me get that. So this is the normal size for that stamp, that particular stamp, but in this set it's smaller, kind of almost like card or tag day size, so that's why I went ahead and got it, so I could have the different sizes. So I used several stamps from this. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't have the packaging anymore, but I did get this at Michael's. And so those are the stamps I used. And see, the linen ribbon, the graphic 45, and then I also used the Alpha Parts, and it's called Framed, and it's one of the newest ones, and it's got some arrows in it and some word phrases, and it's the black plastic. And you can do a lot of things. You can put paint and stuff on here, but I didn't. I just used it plain. And then I also used pine needle stain, black soot stain, and chipped sapphire stain. And then I used the Distress Inks Stormy Sky and chipped sapphire. And I used crushed olive and pine needles. And then I used black soot and also vintage photo. So let me show you what I made. Okay, so here's my first page, and I used the graphic 45 chipboard, and it says, "Our greatest glory consists not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall," by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I put that on the outside of my cover. And then this is the back side of one of the graphic 45 pages, and I just let that be the background for him and this graphic 45. And I think what I'm going to have to do to show you each of these pages, because they're kind of bound in there together, is to unscrew these. Let's see if I can do it by just unscrewing one of the posts, and see if I can just kind of manipulate it a little bit that way. Okay, yeah, I think that might work. Maybe? Okay, so what I did also is I made pages with my Graphics 45 paper. Made a lot of pages, actually. And in between, I used all of these. I used 4 of these in between each page that I made, so that my recipient can take photos and add their photos in, and they can have like 4 photos in a page, and then 4 more photos in a page. So what I did is I stained all of these. I stained those with those Distress Inks. For my pages that were blue, I used the Chipped Sapphire and Stormy Sky. My pages that were green, I used the pine needles and forest moss, not crushed olive, forest moss, forgive me. And I used the black soot on this page, and I used vintage photo on a couple of the embellishments. So let's go through these pages, and then I'll turn it over and do the back sides of the pages, so it's easier that way. I don't only have to take out one post. So here's just a little bit of just one little embellishment, and I did use the Tim Holtz's Tiny Things bicycle stamp on there, but it didn't really show up, so I wouldn't even worry about that. This is a little mat I cut from the back side of this paper. And so we've got that, and then we have 4 of these again, so that the recipient can put in pictures, and I stained those, you know, the blues and the greens. And then here's another page of the Graphic 45 with some tags, and I popped those up. I also inked around them with the blue inks. And then I stamped one of those smaller stamps that says, "Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful." Okay, so we have 4 more photo holders. And then here's another page, a tag and some chipboard there, inked around the edges with the blues. And then I took 2 of these tabs and I glued them so that, you know, they're back to back, but we'll look at that page again in a minute. So, okay, here's my photo holders. And in some pages I put a lot of stuff on, some pages not so much, because you know there's room for so many photos in here. I really didn't have to make these be photo pages. They can be the embellished pages because they can put their own photos in, you know, on that adhesive strip. And this here says it's the little things that make life big. And you know, it's so nice how all of these chipboards and banners and tags and things go together. They're just perfect. You can put any of the chipboards on any of the pages and it'll coordinate. So you know, these are two totally different chipboard themes, and they work together. So more photo opportunities. And then this is a page that I just left kind of blank so that they could maybe put a journal sheet on here or a picture or something, but I felt like the background of it was too busy to put anything else on there, so I just put a little ticket and a little bit of a border. And then here's the next page. Of course, there's the photo holders again. See if I can. Okay. And then this one is one of the pages from the Proper Gentleman. This one is not from the Good Old Sport. It's from the Proper Gentleman, but I was able to use the Good Old Sport chipboard accents with this page. And then we've got one more page here, and this also, let's see, let me see if that's from Graphic 45. Alright, I'm sorry. Let me see if it's from Good Old Sport or Proper Gentleman. Let me pull out one of the paper sets here and see if that's from here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that one came from a Proper Gentleman. This page did, but see, you know, it kind of works together. And again, here's the Good Old Sport tags and things that work on here. Okay, so there's that front pages. So now I'm going to turn it over, and here's my back acrylic cover, and then my back cover page is also that same green plaid as the one that we started out with. And then I stamped the smaller version of this stamp. Of course, I had to do it lengthwise, so that's kind of weird, but I wanted that on there, so I did it. And I didn't stain this side of the photo holders because I didn't want to take the chance of soaking the adhesive and messing that up. And they don't show from the front, so it was okay. So here's the page where I used the alpha parts. Just, they're plain black. This says note to self, and then it's got an arrow pointing. And I popped this up on some pretty thick stuff. And again, it's the same sentiment that I had on the front page, which was, our greatest glory consists not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So that's that page. And then here's another page that has a mixture of Proper Gentleman and Good Old Sport on it, and I left room for some journaling. And then we have this page, and I love football, and I like this. This page is from the back, where you have different larger pictures that you can use, and a chipboard accent, and there's a banner. And here's this page, and I really like this blue and red plaid, and I was able to pull some red into here where it had been mostly just blue and green, so I was able to pull out the red stripe in this plaid page. And here's another, and this is my football page, and got the chipboard and tag accents. So here's a page where I use the arrow stamp, and it really shows up really nicely. Got a really good image from there. Used a border, used a tag, and then I also used the Blueprint Mustache Mini on here. You can't really see that so well, but I wanted to put it on there, and maybe I'll put it on again and darken it and maybe even emboss it to get it to show up, because I want it to show up because of the mustache player right there. And then this is our second page. Yeah, we're back to the front again. And put a button with a string on it and some pennants and chipboard. And this also is from A Proper Gentleman. It's not from The Good Old Sport. And then we're back to our front page again. So, you know, it took a little while. It took me a day, but I didn't work on it straight through the whole day. You know, I left for a while and went to my grandson's football game and went outside and mowed the grass and did some yard work. So, you know, it's an extensive time project, but you can get it done in a day. And so that's my mini album, and I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you'll try to make one yourself. And I think that once my recipient starts putting their own pictures in there, that's really going to be good. And I didn't put Happy Father's Day on there because that way it could be, you could make this same thing as a gift for a birthday or any other day, or just for some pictures that you have. If you want to make this and have a masculine, that's one thing about this, is very masculine. I tried not to put any pictures of women in it, but you can have this then for some home decor that's masculine around your house. So thanks for being with me on another Monday Musings, and I'll see you next week. Bye.